Okay, so today I'm going to talk about I'm going to talk about a Nobel Prize winner who came up with a concept that will help to explain some of the reasons why we might struggle along our journeys. So there's a Nobel Prize winner named Daniel Kahneman, and I'm hoping that I'm pronouncing that right. He is famous for his research on how humans make decisions. His studies looked at a principle called loss aversion. Okay, loss aversion, which is basically the idea that people try pretty hard to avoid losses. This type of motivation can be powerful because the desire to avoid a loss is twice as strong as the desire to get a reward. Let's say that again. The desire to avoid a loss is twice as strong as the desire to get a reward. So we can use this principle to increase our chances of achieving goals and moving through changes by acknowledging our inherent need to try to avoid the feeling of loss. So let's talk about that for a second. When we're on these journeys, there's a lot that we lose, right? We gain so much, but there's also losses that come with it, right? Like there's this strange thing that happens when women get into this room. They all say the same thing. They go, it's so like I've separated myself from everybody that I know, or I've just went through this huge like release of all the people in my life, or whatever. Like it seems like people get to this point where they are kind of isolated when they're ready to step into this vibration. And so there's losses of people. Sometimes we change jobs, right? Like we were just talking about, like leaving things that aren't for us anymore, like the jobs and the careers or whatever, right? We leave entire vibrations, we leave entire dimensions. There's a lot of loss that comes with it. And even though we're gaining so much as we move forward, it's still very difficult to deal with the losses that we might have. So it's good to just acknowledge, that there is loss. And with loss comes grief, right? There's a grief process that takes place. And you will go through lots of feelings, anger, sadness, denial. We kind of do this back and forth, this back and forth kind of two-stepping between I'm here and I want to be there, but no, I'm going to stay here and no, but I'm trying to move there. Sometimes we weeble wobble between two different things, and it's hard to fully make a change. So here's what I want you guys to do. And I've asked you guys at the beginning to find a piece of paper or something. We're going to investigate a few different questions. And then we'll open up the floor for discussion if we would like. So the first question is, what have you been struggling to achieve or change? What is something in your life, an area in your life, a goal that you may have, an achievement or a dream that you're trying to get to? What is something that you've been struggling to achieve or change? Maybe an internal dynamic, right? Maybe a thought process, maybe a belief system you've been struggling to change. Bring that to your awareness. And now we are going to look at what loss are you scared that you are going to suffer? What loss are you scared that you're going to suffer? And with every change, with every move, with every goal, there is something that you're losing. So I don't feel like anybody's answer should be nothing. There's always something. What loss are you scared you are going to suffer? And then we're going to flip the script, okay? And this means we're going to change the loss from feeling like a bad thing to feeling like a good thing. Because for it to be something that you're working on changing, for it to be something that you've had as a goal, it's something that you want, right? This change is something that you want, this shift, this move, this achievement. It's something that you have desired, right? But right now, that feeling of loss is bad. But let's change it to like good riddance, right? Let's look at what about this do I want to lose, right? What do I want to give up about this? So let me find an example. So maybe you've been wanting to switch jobs. Let's take that example since we were kind of talking about that before. So maybe you're wanting to switch jobs and it's been something that is difficult to change. We could be scared to lose, even if you hate the job, right? I could be scared to lose the feeling of familiarity. I could be scared to lose the feeling of connectedness to people that I know, like I have these connections in place. And even if I don't like all the people, I still know them, right? I still am familiar with them. I'm still connected to them in some way. It still could feel like a loss to lose these people. There could be aspects of it that you like, right? When I was leaving the mental health organization that I was working at, it was really hard. I went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth for years before I left that job. And one of the things, it was very, very close to where I lived, right? The commute was really, really short. And that was something that I was like, I'll never, ever in my life, ever find a way to have a job that's this close to me. But now I work out of my office. So I get up and I literally walk to the other room. So I did actually find a job that was a way to work that was closer to me. But that was something that kept me stuck for a long time, feeling like I wouldn't be able to beat that, right? There was a level of safety that I felt because I basically knew that I could stay there as long as I wanted to, right? Even though I didn't like it, even though I wasn't happy, even though it was uncomfortable, I knew nobody was kicking me out. Like I knew I could basically hang out there for the rest of my life if I wanted to. And so that, moving on felt scary. And so there was that level of safety that I was scared to lose. There was things like that. So we have things that losses, even with changes that we want to make, there's things that we could be losing that we're scared to lose. So we're going to flip that script. Let's take my example. So yes, it was familiar, but really I was bored. I was bored to death and I was unfulfilled. So that I would be giving up. Good riddance, goodbye, right? So I could take that and look at that loss as a positive thing. The next one was connections with people. Well, they were superficial, right? Superficial, goodbye, superficial connections. Now I can focus my time and energy on deep, more meaningful connections. I had, and it might have been the same person I was just talking, we were all talking to at the beginning of this. I think we had a conversation before about being really introverted and that work is the only place that we might see other human beings. Like if I don't go to work, then what, if I don't go out in the world, then what to work, I might not see people. But then we talked about that you would, but it would just be the people you actually want to see, right? You're not forced to use up your energy to have social interactions with people you don't really want to see. You'd be using them to have deep, more meaningful connections with people you actually like. So it'd be like good riddance to the superficial connections. I had that thing, that feeling of safety. Well, that was a fake, right? Goodbye, false security. It was a false security because anything can happen. You can always, lose a job. Turns out, most places, if you died tomorrow, they would replace you in 2 seconds. Or if the budget runs out, like they'll, there goes your position. So it's not really that safe, is it? Or if there's like a global pandemic, like they're going to cut you all of a sudden. Like I think we all learned that lesson during the pandemic, that, job security is a false sense of a feeling. There's not really any true security by working a job rather than doing any other thing that you want to do for money. But yeah, so goodbye, false security. So see how I kind of took those same things that I talked about as the things I was like, that we could be scared to lose about this changing the job, and I flipped it into things that I was like so happy to be like, goodbye, deuces, good riddance, right? If I can find the thing that I dislike about it, right, and turn it into a positive thing for myself, that I'm getting rid of it, and then it starts to be, I feel more empowered about the change. Then I'm going, oh yeah, I'm getting rid of that, right? I'm letting that go, right? I'm not losing something. Like that loss aversion is this vibe of like powerlessness, right? This loss is happening to me, right? And when we flip the script in this way, we're taking our power back and we're going, oh no, I'm not like this powerless thing that is having this loss happen to them. I'm this powerful being who's choosing to let go of certain things that are no longer serving me anymore, in exchange for all of these other things that are 10 times better for me. And so that's our next step, is to go make a list of all the positive things about the thing that you're moving into. Now that we've empowered ourselves to choose to let go, I don't want that anymore. So what do I want? All of these things. And so maybe my new job would come with a deeper sense of purpose. Maybe it would come with, right, conscious connections. Maybe it would come with, maybe it would come with more freedom. Maybe it would come with opportunity for growth and education. Maybe it would come with like a better title. Maybe I would feel more like self-esteem if I could have like a title that I was proud to say, I'm a this or I'm a that, right? Maybe it would come with better money, better hours, more flexibility, or balance in my life, like whatever it is that you're trying to move into. And those are like examples of all the things that happened to me when I finally made my jump with the job situation. But we can do this with anything, look at what is positive, what are the things that you're going after? What are the reasons that you want to make that change to begin with? So we're going to consciously choose to let go. We're going to get empowered around, it's my choice. I'm choosing to let it go. Good riddance. This loss isn't happening to me. I'm choosing to let go of something. And then I'm going to shift my focus to what I will have, right? Because that's the other side of dealing with the feeling of loss. Instead of focusing on loss, I'm going to focus on what I want to have, or what I do have, right? And you can even focus on things that you have inside of yourself that are positive things to hold on to. Like, I have more skills, right? I have the ability to find different things. I have the ability to serve deeper. I have, right? Having. We want to move from the energy of loss to the energy of having. And that's a really abundant energy to be in. And that's, if any of you took the Queen of Wealth training that we did, where we talk about this energy of wealth is more than just money, right? It's a mindset. It's an energy of being abundant and having enough, right? Having more than enough. when I focus on loss, I feel like I don't have enough, right? And we do this in this How to Wear a Crown journey. We do this switching of perspective with ourselves so often, but we can do this externally as well, right? Shifting the perspective of not having enough out here to having enough. I'm enough, I have enough. So it's like a layer deeper of our self-worth journey. It's when we start to externalize that concept of I'm enough and that I'm worthy and I'm whole and I'm enough, right? I am enough and I have enough. So anytime you start focusing on loss or feeling loss, we're going to switch to what do I have? All right, I'm hoping that's making sense. Can I see some hearts and stuff? If you're getting it, or questions if we don't. Do you need me to clarify or expand upon anything? Hearts, hearts. Wonderful. Okay. So if you want to look more into this concept of loss aversion, again, his name is Daniel Kahneman, Nobel Prize winner Daniel Kahneman, and it's the principle called loss aversion. We're never losing. We're always only gaining. It's better and better and better. It's up and up only. It can only get better for us. I love you guys.